Hello everybody, Ed0626 here, and I'm doing something I haven't done on the channel in quite some time. Quite a while since I've done this, and it's going to sound mind-blowing to some of you, but I'm actually leaving this entire video unedited, other than like a couple of things within the video. And I only do that because you have to get the full context of the video to understand the struggle that was this particular Iron Banner match. To make a very long story short, myself and my good buddy Hollow, my best friend of nearly 10 years, if not about 10 years, we ended up fighting a whole fucking clan. At least like a 5-man team. And immediately I'm like, okay, this is a death sentence. We played like 1 or 2 matches before that I don't remember if we won or we got crushed, but either way, these guys were really tough to fight against because they were primarily very, very heavy Jotun users. I'd say at least 1 or 2 guys on their team were running Jotun, and it was tough. It was really rough. So Hollow, being the toxic motherfucker that he is, pulls out his own Jotun, and this man, I swear to God, at one point in time, I don't have the gameplay audio in the background, but I think he said he got like a 4-man streak going with that Jotun. I'm telling you right now, that thing is fucking toxic. Absolutely toxic. Anyway, so we ended up having a huge back and forth with these guys. Not like on mic or anything, but like just in game, we were having a huge back and forth between these guys. And somehow, someway, we pulled off what was probably one of the most epic comebacks I personally have ever experienced in an Iron Banner or Crucible match. And it says the game was tied. I don't really know. It said the game that we won, but it said it was tied 125-125. I don't know if that's ever happened before to anybody. So if that has happened to you, is that a win for us or the win for the other team or both? I have no fucking clue. I've never experienced it before. But in terms of, I mentioned something about Crucible and PvP before. Today's video is not just about the gameplay and the story behind this gameplay. This video has to do with Destiny 2 and its apparent balance issues that a lot of people feel the game has. Now, before I continue this commentary, I want to preface that I don't consider myself to be a member of the Destiny community. I just sit and enjoy the game and I play with my buddies. Of all from everywhere that I play with them with. You know, I have a bunch of different guys I can play this game with. I don't really pay too much attention to the surrounding community of Destiny. I don't really follow any, people on social media about it. I don't really follow any YouTubers or subscribe to any YouTubers, watch gameplay on it. I just sit and I have fun on the game. But I have noticed a lot of conversation on social media from the Destiny community, because I do follow like the Destiny tags, that apparently a lot of people are arguing over the fact of whether or not Destiny 2 is currently balanced in its current state. And a lot of that has to do with the whole stasis in PvP aspect, and then a lot of it has to do with the balance of PvE to PvP modes and loot and all that stuff. So stasis is what I've been kind of seeing a lot more recently, so I will touch on that first. Honest to God, I'm glad that stasis is a part of the game in the sense where it offers another subclass and another style of play for people to enjoy. I am not a fan of stasis in the regard of I do not enjoy as I fucking brutally blow that Blade Barrage because I thought I can clear that. I'm not a fan of stasis in the regards of being frozen or third-party frozen mid gunfight. To me, that's annoying as fuck to deal with. I think, and I saw a video earlier today before I made this commentary, where some guy got shuriken hit and got frozen, and then a guy who was either a Titan or something smashed right through him. I can see that being annoying to a lot of people, especially if you're just trying to get on PvP and get your shit done. And even in Mayhem is a bloody cancer when it comes to supers being spammed everywhere and all the stasis abilities and shit. It's really rough to deal with. So I hate the argument of, oh, you have to adapt. But in all regard, because to me, I think the adapt argument's a weak argument. I just think that they need to balance stasis better, and I don't think they play tested stasis in Crucible enough where it's like, there's no way no one's going to be upset about this in the game. Like, to me, I understand why people are upset. I understand why people like it in the game. I just said that I think it adds a good dynamic. I just don't like the aspect of being frozen in a gunfight, being third-party frozen, stuff like that. To me, I think it's a nuisance, and it's very annoying, and it's just doesn't offer a fun gameplay experience, in my opinion. Now, when it comes to Crucible and PvP, a lot of people make an argument in terms of balance of, game modes between PvE, which is Strike, Nightfall, Nightmare Hunts, stuff like that. Just the stuff of, going out in the world and doing shit. And then PvP, which is Crucible, Iron Banner, and I kind of consider... the Gambit's a little bit different because it's a mixture of both. I consider it more PvE than anything, but just my opinion, because majority of the enemies you will face are PvE. So I feel like there's an argument in the community between the fact of, grinding, especially in the last season. A lot of people disliked the last season because it did not offer really much loot or anything, which I can understand. I felt sort of the same way. And they just felt like the focus of Destiny is focused too much on PvP as opposed to the PvE activities. But granted, Bungie did eliminate pretty much half this game's content, or a good portion of this game's content, to the point where everything was going to be very boring very quickly because there wasn't much content to work with once Europa came into the scene. And after a while, I'm not going to lie, PvE does get a little boring after a while. So I hate the argument of PvP doesn't belong in Destiny. It's a PvE game. If that was the case, and I'm being wholeheartedly serious when I say this, if that was the case, this game would be fucking dead. There's no reason why anyone would play this fucking game as much. Because to me, PvE after a while gets boring, especially once Season 12 came along and the whole ordeal of Bungie eliminating half the planets on this game, or at least 45, nearly 50% of its content. To me, I find an issue with that. And if that was what they were going to do, then I think that argument is null and void in that opinion. I think PvE, while great, and while I enjoy playing it primarily over PvP, I enjoy playing PvP because it gives me an opportunity to test my skills and in other regards. Obviously, this gameplay doesn't really show it. I've died a lot in this gameplay, but I feel like people don't really understand the importance of having player versus player game modes, because without them, the game doesn't last as long as people want it to be. Destiny would never have been as big as it is now if there wasn't like a PvE aspect, as once again I blow the Blade Barrage, and if there wasn't a PvP aspect to it. I really wholeheartedly believe Destiny would just be boring without PvP. I think Crucible adds a different dynamic, even though I'm personally shit at it, but it doesn't stop me from trying to have fun when I want to have fun. So, again, I don't claim to be an expert on the subject. Do not take me as an expert. I just have my own different opinions, and I would like to have some sort of intelligent, keyword, intelligent discussion in the comments section below, because I think that this is something that needs to be talked about a lot more, in the community, without people trying to go down each other's throats and yell at each other. So, with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one.